This evening we'll be flying with Peach Airlines on their longest flight connecting Osaka and Singapore. From our experience flying domestically, Peach is not a bad little budget carrier. But does this carry over to their longest flight? We'll also check out their brand renewal and see what this means for the airline going forward. Is flying this budget carrier a decent way to get from A to B? Come along and let's find out. We are beginning at Kansai Airport in Osaka, one of 5 island airports in the country. Serving over 30 million passengers a year and being on an island, the train station is definitely a buzz while you're trying to gather your bearings. The airport has 2 terminals, with Terminal 2 being dedicated to the budget airlines, and judging by this map, we gotta first hightail it over to the bus, which will then take us over to the terminal. If there's one thing about budget airlines is, sure, the prices can be cheap, but that comes at a cost in other manners. In our case, it first means factoring in the additional time to even get to the terminal. All said and done, it's another 20 minutes. Once we arrive, you can see another way to keep costs down. The terminal is only 1 level. No fancy elevators nor escalators here. Inside is equally as no frills. The building itself is bare bones, pretty much one big warehouse, with no fancy lighting, fancy seating, or other ambiance enhancing items. Today we'll be flying on MM773 Peach Airlines' once daily flight to Singapore, departing at 6:25 p.m. They operate their longest flight using the A321 long-range aircraft. I visited the kiosk to print out the boarding pass, which was quick enough. Should you have baggage to drop off, you're going to want to add on extra time as well, as this is done without machines. After check-in, there's not much to do here, other than consume the remainder of the very dangerous water and complete the security and passport check. You know, when it comes to the low-cost carrier world, there really is no such thing as a free lunch. I mean, look at this terminal, for example. There's only a couple places to grab a bite to eat. There's one drugstore, there's a duty-free, and that's about it. There's not even any windows to plain spot. Also, when it comes to the flights, sure, they're cheap, but they run at odd hours of the day. We leave at 6:25 p.m., not too late, but we do arrive in Singapore past midnight after the trains and buses stop running. So you do have to plan a little bit after the flight as well. And for the flight itself, you got to figure out if you want to bring snacks or buy something on board. So yes, the flights are cheap, but a little bit of planning beforehand is going to help you out in the long run. Today we're departing from Gate 89, which lies beyond these mysterious doors. I did manage to find a quiet corner to pass the time, do some editing, and recharge the batteries. Nowadays, more and more airlines are banning the use of portable chargers, and having access to power on board is really hit or miss. Once the mysterious doors opened, it was time to head to the gate, and calling these gates might be a bit of a stretch. It's just a lot of walking. Oh, and there's no washroom past the main building. And yeah, it is a lot of walking. This clip is sped up 7 times, and there's still another clip I didn't include of another minute of walking, so it's about 4 or 5 minutes just to reach the end. The end is just a door with a small workstation for staff to scan boarding passes and to check passports. There's no chairs or seating or anything like that. And then we head out and walk to the plane. Perhaps the best perk of a budget airline. And as we walk to the plane, I'll take this moment to welcome new viewers to the channel, and I invite you to subscribe for continued aviation and travel related content, where you can check out my flight with Jeju Air, a budget carrier based out of Korea, which has a very delicious menu. Yum. And if you can, hyping the video is a great way to help the channel gain traction on the platform. Doesn't cost a thing and takes only a few clicks. Many thanks. Today we'll be seated in 35A at the rear of the plane. Once everyone was on board, we made a quick taxi to 06 left and headed on our way. This is of course one of Peach Airlines' A321 long-range aircraft, one of 3 in their fleet. The long-range variant extends the range by about 900 kilometers, give or take, compared to the A321. The interior is configured in a single cabin with 218 seats and 3 lavatories on board. Our aircraft is just over 5 years old, being delivered to the airline in December 2021. It'll take just over 6 hours to cover the 4,800 kilometers to reach Singapore this evening. One difference between Peach's Inflight service on international versus domestic is the opportunity to pre-order meals, and you can bet your britches I took full advantage of it. The options for this flight were a chicken curry, not bad, spaghetti, okay, basil chicken, or is it basil, and okonomiyaki, an Osaka favorite. Since Peach is an Osaka-based airline, I of course had to go with the okonomiyaki. Batteries not included, some assembly required. And it looks pretty good. But in the words of any government official, there's still more work to be done. I got down to business by applying the okonomiyaki sauce, followed by the mayo. We then added the shaved bonito, katsuboshi, followed by a little baggie of seaweed to top it off. The dish was a solid call. Works well for airplane food. Very savory, great flavors, nice piece of crispy bacon, just a perfect taste of Osaka, and I had no problem finishing the whole thing. There's also the onboard menu for smaller items, drinks, cup noodles, things of that nature, that are very reasonably priced. And the reverse side has some stationery and some other items to take home. The hard product is Peach's older original design, which we have seen in the past. Though many aspects are the same, there are some differences compared to their A320 aircraft, and inquiring minds can check the link for more. The seats are one thing that remains unchanged. Budget carrier style seats, and they're nothing to write home about, and not my preferred seats for a 6-hour flight, but the seat pitch is advertised as 30 to 32 inches. We're getting 30 in the rear of the plane, more than on their domestic aircraft, which is nice to have. And the A321s do have the USB outlets, and again on the A320, they're not installed. As mentioned earlier, Peach is undergoing a brand renewal, and you can see this on some of the screenshots already throughout the video. Visually, they're going with more of a peachy, softer logo and colors, moving away from the purples, and they already have started to install their new product on 3 other A320neos. I'm looking forward to sharing their new product with you when it's implemented further throughout their fleet. There are a couple washrooms on board, and they have a little counter space, though this one, the soap dispenser, was inoperative. I didn't see any soap bottles in lieu of this, and a good reminder to have some hand sanitizer while traveling. Like any ultra low cost carrier, everything comes for a fee, but they do tend to have really good sales. I purchased the minimum plan, which allows for 7 kilograms of carry-on baggage, though at no time throughout this trip was my bag weighed, though it has been done in the past. From there you put in your information, and then you can select the seat should you desire. Then you can choose the meal if the flight offers it, and any other options. It's pretty simple and easy to follow. And 6 hours later we reach Singapore. And I really enjoyed this flight. It was quiet and relaxing, and I was really impressed with the okonomiyaki. It really does well on the airplane. Yeah, sure, the seat is not the best, but that comes with a budget carrier, and I knew I was getting into that. But I'm sure the new iteration of the seat will add further comfort. Having the USB charging and extra seat pitch on these planes was a good call by the airline, as it adds to the experience, and having some content downloaded is a good call before boarding, as there's no eye fee or internet. When it was all said and done, the cost of this one-way flight came out to 18,100 yen. Under 200 bucks to get from Japan to Singapore? I call that a steal of a deal, even with the added time and budgetiness of the airport. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Peach's longest international flight, and I'll catch you in the next video.